Hey, welcome to another edition of Garage Pros. I'm Mark Nolan. We've got an '09 CRV up on the rack here and this absolutely beautiful Curt hitch. It's 2-inch receiver, pretty standard. And this thing is made specifically for this particular vehicle, just like everything that Curt makes. I'm telling you, if you've got a vehicle, they pretty much make a hitch or some kind of hitch type towing product for it. This is a great setup here. I got to tell you, you're looking at 4 main bolts that hold this in. There's another loop bolt here that actually, or a U-bolt that works with a tow hook that's normally on the back of this. But this particular model, it was actually cut off by somebody early on. But really, what we're going to do with this hitch is just use it to hold up a bike rack that goes right into a 2-inch receiver. So we're going to be in pretty good shape with this all the way around. Now, some of the things that you're going to have to do, in fact, if you take a look at the directions, the first thing you have to do is drop the exhaust. Just the back. All you have to do is release a couple of rubber grommets that are holding it up, a couple of hangers there. We'll show you that coming up in a second. And also, now there are 4 bolt holes on the underside of this vehicle. And what we did is we actually went in and chased those because this is an '09. This is a northern climate that we live in here. So we probably ended up with a little bit of rust and grime up in those holes. And yes, we did. We chased the threads on that. And there was a little bit of a mess up in there. And the good news is we ran the bolts up in after that, and everything is going to work out pretty good. So again, step 1, all you got to do is walk underneath there, drop the rear end of the exhaust, the tailpipe there, and then you're ready to go and ready to put the hitch up in. So we're going to do that first. Don't forget your eye protection, and gloves are going to be a necessity too, because it is pretty gnarly up underneath there. All right, we got the CRV up on the rack here, and this would be a good time to say that we normally wouldn't have to do that. I mean, we talk about this all the time on Garage Pros. These are jobs, and these are items that you can buy and actually install right there in your driveway or in your garage. Not everybody has a 2-post lift, of course, but we've got this up here just for, I guess, the magic of TV, so we can get up under here with lighting and cameras and give you an idea of all the things that we're actually pulling down off of here. Quite honestly, if this was down on the ground, it might actually be an easier one-person job, simply because of the distance between the bottom of the tire and the bottom of the actual vehicle itself. You'd be able to take the hitch itself, which is actually a pretty heavy piece, and roll it over on top of yourself and work it up in as a one-person operation. But in this case, we're going to have somebody come in and help us out. But the first item here, right on the directions, is you got to drop the exhaust, the rear tailpipe here, and it's hung by a couple of these rubber hangers. I went ahead and hit them with a little bit of lubricant earlier, so it should be fairly easy to pull these off of here. There's one on this side, and there's one over on the other side here. There you go. And it just comes down and just rests on the sway bar there. Behind that, we've got a couple of holes here. We've got 2 more on the other frame rail there, and those add up to the 4 bolts that are necessary to hold this receiver up here. So what we're going to do is bring Tom in. We'll go ahead and bring it on up and push it up in and put the 4 bolts in, torque them down, and we're ready to go. All right, so I'm going to ask Garage Pros Tom to roll in here and help me get this baby up on here. Remember what I mentioned before, if you were doing this in the driveway, this could probably be a single person operation. You could just lay on your back and let it rest there, but we'll go ahead and push it in to the top here. There we go. Always a precarious move, trying to hold something up and finger tighten bolts at the same time. But luckily we chased these threads already, and these bolts are going in at a pretty good clip. All right, looks like we're finger tight here, which puts us at least in the safe mode. Tom, thank you very much. You can already get a look. I mean, that's a nice looking hitch. Curt does a great job. Nice 2-inch receiver here. This one in particular, 3,500 pound gross trailer weight. This is perfect for what we're actually going to be doing here, which is there's an actual bike rack that slips right into the 2-inch receiver here. This is going to be more than enough to hold those up and cause no problem. So we're finger tight right now. Directions say torque it down to 50 foot-pounds. So we'll do that, and we'll be able to get her off of the lift. Wow. All right. All right, 50 pounds of torque on all of those. And then we take our tailpipe, bring it back up. And again, if you want, spray a little bit of lubricant on there. Make it a little bit easier to hook it back up. And there it is. Really, if you think about it, this is a great hitch, this Curt receiver. I mean, you've got the potential now to go ahead and tow, whether it's maybe it's a small sort of fishing boat or something like that, canoes. In this case, again, we're going to be pulling bicycles, but Curt makes a hitch for just about every single vehicle out there. And it really comes down to 4, maybe 6 bolts in most cases. The majority of the issues are getting any of the other stuff that's already on there off. Pretty good deal. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Garage Pros. I'm Mark Nolan.